And we are live.
Hi, very good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
A very good afternoon to our eminent speakers from Shri Shri Academy Siliguri and all our participants and online viewers. Thanks for your time for coming over. During the last couple of months, we have been getting a lot of inquiries from parents who have been wanting to know the insights about Shri Shri Academy Siliguri. So here we are with the leadership team of Shri Shri Academy Siliguri, and we would make them answer most of the questions that we have been getting from the parents. So may I start with Miss Neha sharing a little bit about herself?
Yes, good afternoon, sir. I'm Neha Agarwal, a primary coordinator at Shri Shri Academy, Siliguri. I am the maths faculty. I handle maths in Shri Shri Academy. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Neha. Thank you so very much. Moving on, I request Miss Molly to share a little about herself.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Molly Chakraborty. I'm the senior coordinator as well as the English faculty for Shri Shri Academy Siliguri. I handle classes from 6 to 9 at the moment. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Molly. Lastly, the principal of this esteemed institution, Miss Chandrama, we would like to hear something from you.
Thank you, Mr. Tohin. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chandrama Pradhan. I'm the founder principal of Shri Shri Academy, Siliguri. My teachers who are there with me today are also the founder teachers. So I'm very proud of our team who have been with us. Shri Shri Academy has a small but a very warm team, and it's a school with a difference. We'd like to believe that. And it's also a new age school. And we'll be able to share a little bit about our school as we go along.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Miss Molly, Miss Agarwal, Miss Chandrama. So my colleague Khushbu has collated a list of frequently asked questions. You know, the questions that the parents have been asking to EduStoke team, and we would also, like to take the live questions for the parents might have as we continue this webinar. So off to my colleague, to Miss Khushbu.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So, ma'am, Chandrama ma'am, my first question comes to you. So we hear the term boarding school. Why don't you tell us a little about what really a boarding school is and what are the advantages of being in a boarding school?
Right. So ours is a day boarding come residential school. When we talk about boarding, it is day boarding as well as residential school. I think you wanted to know a little bit more about the residential school. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have children coming from various parts of the country who are studying in our school. So we have children from Bihar, the Bhutan border, the hills of Darjeeling, Kalimpong, Sikkim are studying in our school. And as a residential school, we provide, of course, the accommodation for the child as well as schooling, proper schooling that every school provides. But because they're staying in the residential school or they are staying in the school as boarders or hostelers, what we also take care is their well-being. We take care of their academics along with their overall development. So it could be, extra classes in the evening after all the children go home, because morning from 8:30 to 3:30, where we have classes. The day scholars are also in the school, so the boarders and day scholars study together, have all their meals together. It's after 3:30 when they go back to the hostel, then they have a separate kind of a routine. So after 3:30, they have games and they have study hours, and they have evening snacks and evening again reading books for an hour or so. And there's a proper schedule that they follow. Oops.
Okay.
So they follow a proper schedule for the weekdays, and then there's a separate schedule for the weekends also. Since they're all staying together, of course, there is a lot of learning and sharing among the children as well. It helps them to be a little more self-confident, helps them to be independent, because most of the work is done by the children themselves. Right. So you want me to go into the details right now? I would like, we take it up. Go along.
Yes. So, just as what Chandrama ma'am just shared, Molly ma'am, my question comes to you that, the children are doing a host of different activities here at the school. What would you say and what would you talk about the relationship between the teachers and the children here? What is the relation like here?
Yeah, good evening. Yes, in our school, we have a very different kind of a relationship. See, gone are the days when the students would feel very like they would hesitate to approach the teachers. But
Right.
here, it's completely different. The trust is very important. Over the years, we have developed a lot of trust between the teachers and the students. The students confide in the teachers, and they share almost everything with the teachers. And then, we of course maintain the confidentiality of whatever they are sharing with us.
Right.
And yes, and they are free. We work as a team sometimes when whatever like project we take up, teachers and the students team up, and then we work together.
Okay, great. So, Neha ma'am, from there, why don't you throw a little light on, teachers are not just teaching here, right? They're also somewhere becoming second parents to the students. What are the different kind of trainings and what are the different kind of workshops that the teachers are doing and maybe enrolling themselves into courses to upgrade themselves? And what is it that the teachers are really doing other than just being with the children to kind of have these skills to take on these challenges?
Yes. So, like, it's very important for the teachers to keep themselves updated from time to time.
Mhm.
So, like in Shri Shri Academy, what we teachers, like, we all are undergoing the trainings regularly. Our
Okay.
principal ma'am is also a trainer herself. So every year, like, training has been given to us by principal ma'am also. We have undergone a child abuse training, which was given to us by Chandrama Pradhan ma'am, and we have undergone Shraddha training also in our schools, and we are also doing the online CBSE trainings as well.
Okay, great, great. So, Chandrama ma'am, coming back to you, with all these activities coming, teachers really acting as second parents for the children. But still, what is the parents' role here? How many times, or let's say, what is the involvement that is required for a parent?
It's a very important question because both the parent and the school play a very important role in the development of the child.
Right.
Because when the child parent trusts us with the child, we ensure that we live up to the trust of the parent. So, like both Molly and Neha said, uh, we share a very strong relationship not only with the child but also with the parent because all the children come from various backgrounds where they speak different languages. They follow different rules, regulations at home, or some maybe from a different culture altogether. So what we need to first know is understand the child and also where he comes from. For that, we need to meet the parents very often. So one, we have a parent orientation. Like Neha said, we have a orientation for the teachers, a workshop for the teachers. Along with the teachers, we have a parent orientation at the beginning of the year where we orient the parents about the school. What is our philosophy? What is expected of the parents? And also, in some cases, we also give some sort of counseling for the parents on child development, on what they can do at home, how to help the child. Besides, like Neha said, there is we have a workshop for prevention of child abuse. So that is very important. Again, we do it both for the teachers as well as parents. So workshops are an eternal part of our school. Apart from that, parents are our partners. So we include parents in everything that we do. Like Molly said, we include the children and the teachers are involved in anything. It could be a festival that we celebrate in the school. It could be a special assembly that we're conducting in the school. Similarly, when parents are involved, there is a kind of, where the parents feel that they're part of the school. So we try to involve the parents as much as possible. And there's a kind of ownership for the parents also. So we involve the parents in various activities, apart from special days like your grandparents' day, parents' day, those celebration and annual function and so on. September, we have a month where we term it as Literacy Month because we have the International Literacy Day in September. So on that month, we invite the parents to come and also interact with the student directly inside the classroom or in the playground. So the
Okay.
parents are invited to come and teach in the school. They not necessary that they have to teach history, geography, math, any subject. It could be, parents are there, parents from different professions. So something related to their profession. So we had a police officer who came and taught the children about self-defense. So we have doctors among our parents. They can talk about anything related to hygiene, health, and so on. Even if a parent enjoys playing basketball or football, they can come and teach that. And most mothers are excellent cooks, so are the fathers. But so there we have a few mothers who would come, taught the children how to cook or prepare certain health drinks and so on. So that way the parents feel involved. And besides that, we also have PTMs regularly, thrice to 4 times a year, where the children parents come and discuss about the child's academic progress. And apart from that, any time that the parent feels that they need to reach out to the teacher to understand the problem that the child is facing inside the classroom, outside the classroom, even at home, they are free to do so. They call up the school and then we connect them to the teacher. And now, of course, the parents themselves being at home and connecting to the teacher directly, because we are having online classes, so there is a greater interaction among the parent and the children. And like we said earlier, children have they're free and they should be able to speak their mind. Similarly, parents should also be able to share how they feel about the school. Constant feedback from the parents help us to improve also. So,
Ms. Chandrama, as as the life is coming back to normal, schools have started opening, and different states have different. We have been seeing staggered opening, but obviously we are looking forward
yes.
Towards the opening. I would like to know that what are the safety precautions, etc. What are your safety policies that you have, and especially how you are preparing for the reopening after the COVID-19.
Yes. So right now we have been given the directive by the education department to start with school for class 9 to class 12.
Yes.
So we are, kind of preparing, or rather I put it, we are prepared to welcome the children, because we have been having children visit the school in phases. So because children have been requesting us if they could come to school. So the children who are based in Siliguri, we've been inviting 2 batches almost every alternate day, if I'm not mistaken, Molly and Neha. So 2 groups of children, they visit the school, spend a few hours in the school and go back, but transport and parents pick and drop them. So in that way, we've already had children visiting. So we are ready with the school. So one is your wearing of the mask and washing your hands are the basic necessity or a mandate for every child. So the children have to wear their mask at all times. And also, so far when they were visiting, they had to carry their own, say, water bottle so that they do not use someone else's and so on. When it comes to the preparedness of the school, starting from our gate, when they welcome the children when they enter, to the didis who are in the bus, who are the last ones to be there to drop when they drop the children home. We are having a training for them so that they know how to deal with the children, and of like a mandate for checking their temperature, of using sanitizer, and that is going on from our end. From that, sanitization of all the classrooms before the children come, after the children leave the school also, of ensuring that every area in the school, from the desk to the washrooms to every area is sanitized. And also we will also have a nurse in-house. She would also be taking care to ensure that there's no child who comes in, or a child who comes in who might have mild fever or any of the symptoms. Of course, we are also sending out a letter to the parents on the do's and don'ts. So if they have mild symptoms, because this is it's the winter season, we are still facing. We're still going through the winter season here, and because we are in the foothills, it's a little cold. So some children might just have a common cold now, as we set into spring also, there's a change of season. So parents, if they feel that, yes, my child has a slight cold or a runny nose, or is not feeling good about themselves, need not send them to school as a precautionary measure. And because their health is more important than anything else right at the moment. So that's how we are going to prepare. The parents also would be given a letter where we write the do's and don'ts, and the consent of the parents is also very important. If they're not comfortable sending the child, it's not mandatory for them to send them. Of course, we'll welcome them and we'll take all the safety measures. Yeah, and knowing us, I'm sure the parents will have the confidence to send their children. And so, like I said, all our staff are trained. We ensure that they also have a proper health and hygiene check at intervals on a regular basis. Our office has been open since May, so we've all been working. So it's not like the school was closed and suddenly we're going to open and we don't know how to deal with the children. We have been following all the norms so far, and we have a guideline given by the CBSE also. We have our own SOPs in place, which we'll be following. And we're looking forward to have the children in school, and the school is not the same without the children.
Definitely.
And all our children are also missing school, that's for sure, and we're looking forward to it.
Yes, certainly, ma'am, and I think everyone, whether it's a school, it's the parents, it's the, children, everyone is looking forward for the day when they can return back to the schools. Yes, off to Khushbu.
Okay, so ma'am, my question now would be for Molly ma'am, now that we're talking about having the children back, let's talk a little about what goes inside the classroom. So ma'am, what are the different activities and what are the different strategies that you do and you're using to make the classroom learning fun?
For a teacher, it's very important that we be innovative, right? Inside the classroom to make learning interesting as well as effective. So it's not just about entertaining the children, it's also about effective learning. So we conduct a lot of activities inside as well as outside. So before we start a lesson, whichever subject, whichever topic we cover, we start a lesson, we have a warm-up activity. Say, for example, if I'm teaching something like nouns, I would maybe take the children around the school just to arouse their curiosity. They identify different objects, and that is how they know the names of each object. And once they identify that, they know the utility. So, and while teaching, it's very important, as CBSE has also mentioned, that we should also inculcate values in the children for every topic that we teach. In that case, that is also important, how not to waste things, how each and everything is important around you. Everything has a role to play in our life. So that is important. And not only that, post, as I told you, it's a warm-up activity we do in order to arouse the curiosity, to kindle the curiosity in the child. And once it is done, we also involve the children in a lot of other activities, like maybe a role play or a model making. So that keeps the child's interest growing, and they look forward to attending classes. Even in the online classes, offline classes, we of course are able to do it much easily. But even in the online classes, we have been able to do that, giving them homework, like when they go, when they go back home, we ask them to find out about things which like it's not just related to the topic, it's kind of an extension of whatever they are learning in the classroom that they look forward to coming back to the next class again.
Right. So Neha ma'am, I'm just taking right from where Molly ma'am left on giving these children the home assignments. So what are the home assignments made up of? What are they, and how do children deal with it? Does it put a little burden on the kids? Is it something easy, fun? Just throw some light on what kind of home assignments do you do?
Yes. Like what we do is we don't give too much of home assignments to the children because we don't want to burden them with the home assignments. Children are spending a lot of time in school. So we try to cover up all the topics and everything in the school, and so that children are relaxed when they go back home. So according to us, homework is reinforcing what student has learned in the class. So we give them the homework in such a way which is interesting for them, and like research kind of homeworks we give them. As Ma'am Molly has already said about it, we give them the homework, something which they have to research, they have to find, and they find it interesting. They love to do it, and they just recall and revise what was done in the class. We don't burden the children by giving too much of homeworks.
Okay, great. Chandrama ma'am, coming back to you, We're talking about the homework, we're talking about the classroom assignments. Why don't you share a little bit about what are the facilities to inculcate extracurricular talents, the extracurricular habits, the co-scholastic activities? What is one the infrastructural aid that you have at school that can support children if they want to pursue a particular kind of a sport or a kind of art or some kind of a hobby? And secondly, what are the mandates that you have?
Sure. So, since we've already spoken about academics, and we talked about how activities are also done in the classroom that support their learning. Technology is another teaching aid that we have in the school. The technology is an essential part of learning today. So our classrooms are technology enabled. Every classroom we have television. Teachers all use the iPad to teach the children. Not the entire class maybe, because it's not possible to teach everything with the help of technology. So there has to be group learning, there has to be peer learning. Along with that, there are visuals and images also to be shown to the children. So technology is part of it as part of academics. Along with that, we have what we call the scholastic subject. So yoga and meditation is a mandatory part of our school. So we after the children come home in the morning, come to school in the morning during assembly. So alternate day, we have yoga and meditation. We begin the day with yoga and meditation for all the children, starting from the nursery till class, right now we have till class 9. So for the pre-primary children, it's a different style of teaching yoga and meditation. It's more of a fun way, which is handled by the pre-primary teachers. For class 1 to 5, we divide them into 2 groups. And then the yoga and meditation is conducted by an in-house teacher. By meditation, I do not mean that the child has to sit there with the eyes closed for a couple of, say maybe half an hour more. That's not possible. Even adults can't do it. But basic meditation, where they close their eyes, do Om chanting, and yoga, of course, all the asanas that are suitable for their age is conducted by the yoga teacher. That's how we start the day. And then we have a regular, then they go for breakfast, and then the first few classes happen, lunch break and so on. In between, we have interspersed all the classes with say library class, art, music, dance, all that are as routine timetable. Then we also have activities. So till last year, we were having 1 hour of activities every alternate day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and some part of Saturday. They used to have activities for 1 hour where the coaches come in and the child got to choose 2 activities. It could be outdoor sport, it could be an indoor activity like music, dance, or whatever. And we have the infrastructure and the space for all that. So we have a tennis court, football ground, basketball ground, space for where they can play badminton, table tennis, chess. For music, dance, we have all that's in place, and we have the resources also, so they'll be able to they conduct these sessions for the children, because just teaching them about the fairest subject is not enough. They learn through all these activities, and outdoor activity is one of the best ways where the children learn about leadership skills, about teamwork, about winning, about losing, all those. So it's very important that we give them enough time to enjoy these activities. And we also have the experts coming in who train the children for these activities. So from this year, we are also introducing the clubs, and the clubs are for slightly different in nature. Be like nature club, culinary skills, photography. So these are new things that we are planning to add. We already have environmental awareness that is being inculcated among the children. So we have a small kitchen garden where we plant vegetable. Children get to plant themselves and even take vegetables home, because if a child can just pluck tomato from the the plant where they have planted, and they get to harvest some of these vegetables, they feel very happy, they get very excited, and they also learn to respect nature, and they also know that they also get to see how much time it takes for a vegetable to grow. It just takes a minute for them to waste it, but it takes a lot of time for it to grow. So if they have observed it themselves, they are really mindful about it. So these are all part of their day-to-day activities. When we have camps, we also have the potter. We brought in the potter when we had the summer camp, who taught pottery to the children. Currently, we do not have a setup right now. Very soon, I hope we will be able to bring that also, because the more they work with their hands, the better it is for their brain development. So right from the nursery age, right from the nursery classes, we ensure that they use their hands as often as possible, do a lot of activity which is not involve their brain and their eyes or their ears. All this, their sensory organs have to be used in a proper manner so that learning happens. So we plan it in such a way that we involve the children in various activities, and most children love these activities. Outdoor activities, even if it's very hot, and it's 30 degrees and above, when we ask them to stay indoors, teachers know it also, it's very difficult. They still want to go out and play. So they have that kind of energy, and we need to channelize the energy. And we do that through various activities during the day. And Saturday earlier was a bagless day where they had various activities. Now we're planning to make it a little longer so that we can have both clubs, classes, as well as activities.
Great. So, Molly ma'am, coming to you, I saw you really, excited with enthusiasm when ma'am spoke about children not wanting to go outside, even though it was really hot. Do you have certain anecdotes to share on that?
Yeah, we have plenty of that. Sometimes we teachers, when afternoon sun, it's really very hot and we don't feel like going out, but the children are full of energy, especially the ones from the junior classes, class 1, 2, 3, 4, you name them. They just want to go out and play, and their favorite teacher happens to be our games faculty, Sachito, and they even today when they have online classes and we are inviting, as ma'am has already mentioned, that children are coming in badges, they're coming, and the first thing they inquire is, ma'am, is Sachito also coming to school? So, that is how much they look forward to the games classes. And even during the sports days, we had normally we have a sports in the month of December. Of course, it's not that hot during that time, but children are so full of energy that they can practice from morning 9 o'clock till evening 3 o'clock, maybe just a break and they are off. They can just go on practicing. We do get tired, but children don't get tired. They're always looking forward to the games classes. Yeah.
Okay. So I would also like to get your input, Neha ma'am, on the same.
Yes, ma'am. As ma'am Chandrama and ma'am Molly, they both have already discussed about it. Children really wants to, it's hot or cold, whatever the weather is, they always want to go out and play. They are very happy doing activities. And that's why we in the class also, along with the subjects, we do activities with the children which help them in better understanding, because children learn by by doing hands-on. If they do it by themselves, they learn better and they enjoy it also. So whenever they are very happy with the activity teachers, and they really want to learn by activities only.
Okay.
And if I may add, along with activities, we also have some celebrations. So we, right from Durga Puja, we have Dandiya for both children and parents. My teachers are also excellent dancers along with the children. So we have Dandiya where all of us participate. And I just remembered we have Saraswati Puja coming in next month. So every year we have the Saraswati Puja where the teachers cook a special meal, special khichdi, which is an offering that we make in this part of the goddess Saraswati. So teachers prepare the food themselves and the children enjoy helping the teachers and they look forward to it. So it's like, all celebration is also done with a lot of abandon and we really enjoy it. Holi is another festival that they enjoy. Sankranti, we have kite flying and stuff like that. Then Christmas, Halloween, name it. We have, whether it is in a small scale or whether do it in large scale, we ensure that the children take part in this in these festivals, because it's again another important part of learning. So everything we do, we ensure that children learn, not just having fun, but also to understand why they're doing it. Why are we celebrating these festivals? Why is it important for us? So we do that by either by explaining or in the form of a short video. Even now, when the children are at home, we have not missed out on a single celebration. So it's online also. We just have we do it together. So for that, of course, I have an excellent team of teachers, my support system. So they do a wonderful job, and of course the children also participate. So currently also we have not missed out none the single activity, except for maybe a major celebration where you need the children to be there to practice with us, or competitions. Other than that, all celebrations have also been conducted. It might have been online, may not be the same as having the children in school, but Children's Day, Teachers' Day, we've done it all, I think this year also. So, and we hope to continue with that in the coming years as well.
Molly ma'am, we have some attendees and participants with us. ये भी जानना चाहते हैं लोग that आपका campus बहुत सुंदर है, no doubt. But what is beyond the campus? Campus के बाहर आप picnics पे, excursions पे या field trips पे बच्चों को लेके जाते हैं?
जी बिल्कुल जाते हैं हम लोग. First year से ही we have started. Pardon me, I'm a little more comfortable speaking in English than in Hindi. I get conscious. So we do take children for field trips at least twice a year. The first year was a kind of it was a trip to Bengal Safari Park, wherein the children got to experience the flora and fauna. They, of course, learning is a part. It has to go beyond the classrooms. Like, it cannot be just confined to the classrooms. We have to take the children out to explore new things, and that is how they get to learn. So we took them to the Bengal Safari Park, wherein they got to see herbivores as well as carnivores, and of course birds, number of birds and plants. So they had a project on which they had to do a little bit of research on the medicinal herbs and everything. So they did that, and they came back and they made the presentations also. And the second year was very interesting. Of course, last 2020, nothing was possible because of the pandemic. But second year, we took them to the Indo-Bangladesh border. So there they happened to tie Rakhi to the soldiers of both India and Bangladesh. And they got to see it's a different feeling for the children also when they are taken to the border, and they are made to realize, yes, this is where the country's border ends. And then you meet the other people who were, they were as cordial as the ones who were towards our part of the border. And they had a nice time. They interacted with both the soldiers of Bangladesh as well as India. They understood how difficult it was for them to lead a life in the borders. And they, of course, experienced all kinds of guns and rifles that the soldiers they use. They showed it to the children. They were very interested. They made presentations. They enjoy it, yes. And learning definitely happens beyond the classroom.
Great. नेहा मैम, अगर हम कंपटीशन की बात करें तो एक कंपटीशन है जो बच्चों में अपनी क्लास में, अपने स्कूल में होता है, हाउसेस के बीच में होता है, और एक कंपटीशन होता है मैम एक स्कूल से दूसरे स्कूल के बीच में. क्या इंटर स्कूल कॉम्पिटिशन्स में बच्चे जाते हैं श्री श्री एकेडमी से, और अगर जाते हैं तो वो किस टाइप के कॉम्पिटिशन्स होते हैं?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, हमारे बच्चे इंटर स्कूल competitions के लिए जाते हैं. From the very first year, our children has been going to inter school competitions like football, sports competitions, football, cricket competitions के लिए गए हैं हमारे बच्चे. Then drawing competition है, और योगा competition अभी recently online हुआ था SSRVM के through. ऑनलाइन कॉम्पिटिशन, इंटर स्कूल कॉम्पिटिशन, उसमें भी हमारे बच्चों ने पार्टिसिपेट किया था. एंड व्हाट वी डू इज वी डोंट वांट ओनली द प्राइजेस, वी डोंट वांट चिल्ड्रन टू ब्रिंग द ट्रॉफीज टू अस. इट्स अ एक्सपीरियंस फॉर देम. ओके, and students perform and they adopt new innovative ideas when they go out, and when they are exposed, like we give exposure to our children, okay, so that they learn, and from different children, different environment, we give those in different environment to children. So definitely children go for inter-school competitions.
Okay. Chandrama ma'am, coming to you, the first question, spoke about what is a boarding school and क्या होता है boarding schools में, क्या होता है. मैम, आप थोड़ा कुछ बताएंगे कि बोर्डिंग स्कूल्स में रहने के क्या फायदे हैं और उससे बच्चों को क्या हासिल होता है?
तो बोर्डिंग स्कूल में तो बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हैं, बहुत फायदे हैं। ऐसा कि नहीं है कि अगर आप डे स्कॉलर हो तो आप कुछ नहीं सीखते या सही नहीं है। ऑफ कोर्स डे स्कॉलर्स उसी से सिटी में है तो आप डे स्कॉलर्स ही होंगे। आई मीन यू विल बी अ डे स्टूडेंट। लेकिन अगर आप आपके सिटी में वो सब फैसिलिटीज नहीं है, अच्छी स्कूल नहीं है, या आप मतलब आप चाहते हैं कि बच्चे बाहर जाके पढ़े, तो डेफिनेटली पेरेंट्स चाहते हैं कि वो हॉस्टल में रहे। और हॉस्टल में रहने की बहुत सारे फायदा है। एक तो होता है, एक आपके साथ एक ग्रुप होता है जिसके साथ आप खेल सकते हो, जिसके साथ आप फ्रेंडशिप डेवलप कर सकते हो। एज अ डे स्कॉलर आप कुछ घंटे के लिए स्कूल आते हैं, ऑफ कोर्स फ्रेंडशिप बनते हैं, वहाँ पे भी खेल कूद भी होते हैं, पढ़ाई भी उसी तरह से होते हैं। लेकिन आप जब घर जाते हो सकते हैं आप एक सिंगल चाइल्ड हो, या आप एक स्टैंड अलोन हाउस में रहते हो, या बंगलो में रहते हो, या एक बिल्डिंग में रहते हो और आजू बाजू कोई है नहीं आपके साथ कुछ शेयर करने के लिए या खेलने के लिए। सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज कंपेनियनशिप और फ्रेंडशिप दैट यू डेवलप इन द स्कूल। देयर आर लॉट ऑफ अदर चिल्ड्रन जो आपकी एज के होते हैं और आपकी क्लास के भी हो सकते हैं, बड़े भी हो सकते हैं। एक वो होते हैं। सेकंड, यू लर्न टू बी इंडिपेंडेंट। घर में जो भी बोला जाएगा, पेरेंट्स डू टेंड टू पैम्पर देयर चिल्ड्रन। आप हो सकता है कोई पेरेंट्स, not all of them, but most parents would like the child to be independent and allow the child to do the work themselves. लेकिन बहुत सारे ना मतलब unknowingly हम लोग क्या करते हैं, बच्चों को थोड़ा प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं, ज्यादा ओवर प्रोटेक्टिव हो जाते हैं और छोटी छोटी काम भी जो उसको खुद करना चाहिए हम कर देते हैं, क्योंकि हम पहले से करते आए हैं या हमें पता भी नहीं चलता है कि इसको बच्चे कर सकते हैं। लेकिन हॉस्टल में nobody is there to help you with work like आपका बुक खुद को पैक करना, आपका जो बैग सही तरह से पैक करके स्कूल ले जाना। अगर आप भूल जाएंगे तो फिर मम्मी नहीं होते है कि आपको बैक करके रिमाइंड करके, या सुबह सुबह आके आपको जगा देना। एक बेल जाता है एट सर्टेन टाइम और सभी को उसी टाइम पे उठना है। सो इवन लर्निंग अबाउट लीडिंग अ वेरी regimented life, you can say, like scheduled। आपको टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना है। आपको 5:30 to 6 o'clock में सुबह उठना है तो उठना ही है, सभी को उठना है। और देन यू सी अदर्स वेकिंग अप, फिर आप भी उठ जाएंगे। फिर उसके बाद पीटी एक्सरसाइज। घर में पेरेंट्स कांट मेक वन चाइल्ड डू इट, हियर देयर इज अ ग्रुप। सो एक ग्रुप के साथ करते तो और इंजॉय करते हैं। उसके अलावा खाना भी आपको सर्टेन टाइप का खाना दिया जाता है, उसमें आपका चॉइस नहीं है। घर पे अगर ये नहीं खाएंगे तो आपको कुछ और मिलेगा। यहाँ पे we have a dietitian who works on, who has given us a diet plan and around it we work around it। so food भी जो आपको न्यूट्रिशियस खाना मिलेगा, आपको स्नैक्स या जंक फूड अलाउ नहीं है। तो your diet is also taken care of, and so food habits are also developed here। your study habits are also developed in the school, क्योंकि एक certain time होता है, उसी period में आपको पढ़ना है। so yeah, because घर में क्या होता है कि शायद फोन जो टेक्नोलॉजी यूज हो रहा है अभी, मोबाइल फोन, टेलीविजन, ये सब स्कूल में अलाउड नहीं है। ऑन द वीकडे स्पेशली फोन लाना अलाउड नहीं है। सो देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ देम यूजिंग द फोन। टेलीविजन भी आपको वीकडेज में देखना अलाउड नहीं है, वीकेंड्स में ही अलाउड है, वो भी फॉर अ सर्टेन पीरियड। तो एक काइंड ऑफ हैबिट फॉर्म, रूटीन फॉर्म हो जाते हैं। गुड हैबिट्स आर पिक्ड अप इन द स्कूल। फ्रेंडशिप तो जैसे मैंने बोल दिया, इंडिपेंडेंट होता है। गेम्स के लिए आपको ज्यादा टाइम भी मिलेगा, क्योंकि वो ट्रैवल पीरियड जो होता है, बच्चे स्कूल से घर आते हैं, घर से स्कूल जा रहे हैं, उस टाइम पे आपको 1 hour एक्स्ट्रा आपको सिर्फ गेम्स के लिए मिलते हैं। सो ऑल दिस काइंड ऑफ हेल्प आपको इंडिपेंडेंट बनाने के लिए, और ऑल्सो टू डेवलप लाइफ स्किल्स ऑल्सो। आप एडजस्ट करना सीखते हैं बाकी बच्चों के साथ, एक ही रूम में, एक ही डॉर्मेट्री में बाकी बच्चों के साथ रहना, और ये सब भी सीखते हैं। सो ऑल लाइफ स्किल्स यू पिक अप फ्रॉम स्कूल। अदरवाइज ऑल्सो यू डू पिक अप। आप जब बस में ट्रैवल करते हैं फ्रॉम होम टू स्कूल, उस टाइम भी आप कुछ सीख लेते हैं। तो बट इन द हॉस्टल आई थिंक यू लर्न इवन मोर कुछ और, स्पेशली व्हेन इट कम्स टू अपना इंडिपेंडेंट जो बोलते हैं, इंडिपेंडेंट थिंकिंग, इंडिपेंडेंट वे ऑफ डूइंग थिंग्स, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। एंड कहीं पर भी आप एडजस्ट कर सकते हो। and also it makes you a little more confident also, क्योंकि आपको adjust करना पड़ता है, आपको अपने आप को you will have to be able to speak up for yourself. तो ये करने से आपको confident भी बना लेते हैं. Of course, हमारे स्कूल में सभी बच्चे को चांस दिया जाता है, चाहे वो हॉस्टल में हो, चाहे वो डे स्कॉलर्स हो, ताकि every child gets an opportunity to speak, to participate. But still, these are all part of learning. So ये सब सीखते हैं हॉस्टल में. And like I said, food तो है ही an eternal part of life, and choices नहीं है, but you can still give feedback. तो feedback भी देते हैं. कभी-कभी हम लोग खाना बनाने भी सिखाते हैं बच्चों को. And some of our boys cook very well. तो cook in the sense not जो गैस के सामने जाना ये सब, that is done by the rest of the staff. पर जैसे अगर पानी पूरी once in a while बनाना हो तो बच्चे ही prepare करते हैं. जो mix करना है और पानी बनाना है. All my boys in the senior class बहुत अच्छे बनाते हैं. And so once in a while we have those sessions also, and they are learning all these things. Abhi, of course, with the culinary skills as part of our clubs, I hope everybody will learn to do that. And so these kind of life skills जो आते हैं स्कूल में सीखते हैं, और हॉस्टल में और भी ज्यादा आपको opportunities मिलेगा, exposure भी मिलेगा ये सब सीखने के लिए. Right? I hope it has answered your question.
Absolutely. Ma'am, we have another question from a participant asking, how safe is it to open the school during this pandemic?
I think अगर बच्चे अगर स्कूल भी ना आए तो भी बाहर तो जा रहे हैं अभी. अभी लगता है पूरी कंट्री में, यहाँ सिलीगुड़ी में भी वही है सीन, और बाकी जगह में भी ऐसा नहीं कि अभी बच्चे घर पे बैठे हैं. फर्स्ट फ्यू मंथ जैसे मार्च अप्रैल में जब से लॉकडाउन शुरू हुआ था, फर्स्ट फ्यू मंथ्स पेरेंट्स एंड इवन अडल्ट्स आल्सो डिड नॉट गो आउट. तो सभी घर पे रहते थे. लेकिन आजकल तो सभी खुल गए हैं, मॉल्स खुल गए हैं, मार्केट खुल गए हैं, प्ले एरियाज खुल गए हैं. तो बच्चे ऐसे भी बाहर जा ही रहे हैं. Right? तो स्कूल भी and वहाँ as long as बच्चे are particular about wearing the mask and sanitization, I don't think it is unsafe to start with school. Yes, we still have to take precaution. We have to take each day at a time. इसलिए हम लोग phases में खुल रहे हैं. अभी तो हमें सिर्फ 9 to 12 तक को ही परमिशन है. और जो steps मैंने पहले भी बताया, we have to be a little more careful about social distancing, maintaining the same in the classroom also. थोड़ा पहले क्या होते थे, एक classroom में 20-30 बच्चे आते थे एक ही दिन में, एक ही time पे. There was not much of a gap. अभी we have to be a little more careful, and as it is हमारे classes में इतना large number हम रखते भी नहीं हैं. तो already वो जो small number है उनको थोड़ा सीटिंग अरेंजमेंट ऐसा रीअरेंज करना पड़ेगा ताकि बच्चे एक दूसरे के साथ वो सोशल डिस्टेंस मेंटेन करें. सिमिलरली यूजिंग ऑफ द वॉशरूम होगा, जहाँ पे भी वो एक क्राउड एक साथ जाते हैं, जैसे प्ले एरिया में ग्रुप गेम्स शायद हम लोग इंट्रोड्यूस ना करें इमीडिएटली. इन ग्रुप गेम्स के टाइम में क्या होता है, मास्क खोला जाता है, प्ले करते हैं, तो वो सब हम लोग को अवॉइड ही करना पड़ेगा. अभी बसेस में जब ट्रैवल करते हैं स्कूल, फिर उस टाइम भी थोड़ा डिस्टेंस मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा. वी हैव टू बी अ लिटिल कॉशियस अबाउट एवरी लिटिल थिंग. एंड अभी देखते हैं फर्स्ट फेज है जब सिर्फ 9 to 12 आ रहे हैं स्कूल, देन इफ एवरीथिंग गोज वेल फिर सेकंड फेज में बाकी बच्चे आ जाएंगे. सो आई डोंट थिंक इट शुड बी अ प्रॉब्लम, and we're just hoping and praying that everything goes well in all the schools across the country. Yes. Because children are our top priority. That's why the various departments are also taking a long time to take this decision of making the children come to school.
Ma'am, another question we have is, which is the highest class that you have, ma'am, in the school? The school goes up to which class?
So currently class is class 9. And they will be going to class 10 by April. So in April, when the new session starts, the children who are in 9 will be promoted to class 10. They have the exam in March. And we will be applying for our CBSE higher secondary affiliation in March. So from March 1st to 31st is the window where we are allowed to apply. And we'll be applying for 11, 12. So by the time the children complete class 10, we should have got our affiliation by 11. So within this year, we will also get our affiliation, secondary, higher secondary affiliation for 11 and 12. Because ये बच्चे हमारे साथ क्लास 7 से हैं. जब हम लोगों ने स्टार्ट किया था स्कूल, सो अब अभी हम चाहते हैं कि ये 12 तक हमारे स्कूल से ही कंप्लीट एग्जाम कंप्लीट करके चले जाएं यहाँ से. सो we will be applying, and then once it's done, they will be going to class 11.
Okay, ma'am. Another question that we have is between a boarding student and a day scholar, what are the different activities? So a boarding student who stays on till the evening, what are the add-on activities, extra activities that a boarding student gets to experience between a visit a day scholar?
So most of the activities during the day from 8:30 to 3:30 is common to both boarders और day scholars के लिए. फिर 3:30 में day scholars चले जाते हैं घर. तो उसके बाद the boarders, like I said earlier, we have coaches who come to conduct various activities during the daytime also for the day scholars as well as the boarders. I mean, for the entire class. After they go home, every alternate day, again, we have the same coaches taking extra classes for them. So cricket and lawn tennis, and here the children get to choose again. So not everybody may be interested in lawn tennis, but most of our children are interested in cricket, football, badminton, karate. We have the same activities during the school hours also, and we have similar kind of activities when the day scholars go home for the boarders also. But because they are staying in the school, they get extra time. On a Saturday also, जैसे Saturday, alternate Saturday हमारा छुट्टी होते हैं, तो उस दिन भी coaches आके उनको extra classes ये activity कराते हैं. Sunday भी छुट्टी रहते हैं. तो अगर outing ना हो उस दिन, because most outings are over the weekend, तो उस दिन जब वो स्कूल में रहते हैं तो coaches आते हैं और ये activities जैसे जो भी outdoor activities है वो कराते हैं. And अगर outing like every 2 months we have outing plan. तो जब outing में they go to places around Siliguri, it's a day outing. And साल में एक बार हम लोग outdoor overnight trip के लिए ले जाते हैं boarders को. चाहे वो camping हो, trekking. So these kind of activities are also planned for the boarders. One overnight trip for the children. अभी इस साल हम लोग प्लान कर रहे हैं कि एक्सकर्शन जो सिलीगुड़ी से बाहर ले जाएंगे, वो तो फॉर बोथ डे स्कॉलर्स एंड बोर्डर्स. इस साल 2021 में हम लोगों ने प्लान किया था कि हर साल हमारा बैंगलोर में जो ट्रस्ट है श्री श्री विद्या मंदिर, बिकॉज वी कम अंडर द आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग फाउंडेशन, श्री श्री विद्या मंदिर ट्रस्ट है, ट्रस्ट की तरफ से एक कंपटीशन रहता है ऑल इंडिया लेवल पे. जितने भी हमारे श्री श्री विद्या मंदिर, श्री श्री एकेडमी स्कूल्स है, उसका इंटर स्कूल कंपटीशन होते हैं, जैसे मैम नेहा ने भी मेंशन किया पहले. तो वो इंटर स्कूल कंपटीशन के लिए हमें बैंगलोर ले जाना पड़ता है बच्चों को. सो वी वर ऑलरेडी प्लानिंग कि हम सब बच्चे को इस कंपटीशन के भी ले जाएंगे और एक्सकर्शन भी एक हो जाते हैं बच्चे के लिए. इस बार हम लोग को ऑनलाइन ही करना पड़ा. होपफुली नेक्स्ट ईयर हम बैंगलोर जा पाएंगे विद द चिल्ड्रन. सो वी लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू दैट.
Ma'am, we have another question. Do you have volleyball, basketball in school?
Yes, we have basketball as well as volleyball, and we have the coaches also. Our in-house PT teacher is an expert in basketball. Volleyball, we have a coach coming from outside.
Okay.
Along with
okay, we have another question from our Facebook Live audience. What is the right age for a child to begin a boarding?
Okay, very good question. I think some children, and it depends from child to child and also from school to school. Because some children are independent from a very young. कोई बच्चा ready हो hostel के लिए, like say from class 1. Personally, I would not recommend for the pre-primary children, because the child has to be capable of doing things for himself, to be able to take a bath himself, to be able to wash, like say your innerwear and छोटे-छोटे कामों में that we generally involve the children in. So pre-primary would, I think those are the years when they need to be with the parents. So it's very important that the pre-primary years they spend at home with their parents. Some schools start hostel from class 1. In our school, we have started from class 3. But I believe that that's the right time for the child. The child is really independent. Child is able to adjust. Child is able to do things for himself. Class 3, around maybe 8 to 10 years, it should be the right age when they are ready for hostel. 8 to 10 years, but like I said, parents also have to be ready to be able to, send the child to the hostel, and because the parent separation anxiety should not happen with the children. Pre-primary के बच्चे जब first time school जाते हैं, तो separation anxiety होते हैं on both the parent and the child side. So that should be avoided when it comes to children. They should be able to do things for themselves. That is very important, and children learn very fast also. So when they are ready at that age, I think they are emotionally, they are socially, they are ready to step out into a world away from their parents. So right time. What would you say, Molly and Neha, as parents of young children yourselves? Neha, as a child studying in our school in class, she'll be going to class 3 now.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Neha has a daughter
Yes.
as well. Sorry, Molly also has a young daughter. Right, so as parents, what do you feel?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
I think I think 8 to 10 years, not before 8 to 10 years, because it is difficult for the child to take care of himself or herself on her own completely. But yes, we still have children of class. I think in the first year itself, we had a student from class 2, but he was quite confident and he was able to handle things on his own. It depends from child to child again. Yes.
अगर बच्चा इंडिपेंडेंट है शुरू से ही, अपना काम खुद कर रहे हैं और होमवर्क खुद कर सकते हैं, पढ़ाई कर सकते हैं, then I don't think there's any harm in sending them to a hostel at an early age. हम लोग 3 से लेते हैं, but इस साल हमें 2 के लिए भी रिक्वेस्ट आए हैं, तो 2-3 बच्चे हैं जो क्लास 2 में भी आ रहे हैं.
Ma'am, there is a question regarding what kind of faculty do you have at the hostel? So there are wardens staying, and from what class onwards?
So in the hostel we have the lady warden and a male warden. There are 2 different sections in the same building. We have different floors, one for the girls and one for the boys. So we have a lady warden and a male warden staying in the hostel themselves. And also teachers of certain subjects. So like if I talk about the previous year, because right now we have not opened the hostel as yet. Last year we had the yoga teacher staying in-house. We had subject teachers also staying in-house. This year also we have appointed teachers who will be staying in the school so that they can help the children in the school during their study hours. So every day there are 2 या 3 घंटे के study period होता है. Exam के time में और भी थोड़ा half an hour ज़्यादा हो सकते हैं. तो उस time बच्चों को help करने के लिए और warden and teachers, subject teachers भी रहते हैं. उसके अलावा अगर बच्चे को extra classes की ज़रूरत है, तो we also have teachers who are teaching during the day to stay back for an hour or 2 to help the children. In the first year we had, because वो need था. Last year we did not feel the need कि extra उनको वो study period से ज़्यादा और भी देने ज़रूरत है. अभी हमारे बच्चे higher class में जा रहे हैं, जैसे 9 में, अभी 10 में जाएंगे, तो extra coaching भी देना ज़रूरी है for certain subjects. तो उसके लिए हम लोग extra classes रखेंगे, either hostel के teacher लेंगे या बाहर से भी teachers जो day scholars हो वो रहेंगे 2-3 घंटे के लिए to take classes for them.
Okay. Ma'am, we have a question again on the board. Which board are you affiliated with?
Oh, we affiliated with the CBSE board.
Okay. Ma'am, what is the admission? Is there an admission test for grade 3 onwards?
Yes. We have I wouldn't call it a test. It's more of an assessment to assess the child. So एक होता है interaction with the parents. First time जो होता है एक interaction with the parent and child. So interaction with general questions and all we ask. And apart from that, there is an assessment for any child taking admission in any class. For example, if a child is taking admission in class 3, we assess the child on what he has learned in class 2. So
Right.
2 में जो पढ़े हैं वो 3 के लिए ताकि ready हो. Assessment जरूरी भी है कि हम लोग को भी पता चले कि चाइल्ड का लेवल क्या है और किस एरिया में चाइल्ड को हेल्प चाहिए बाद में. So assessment from 3 onwards. And interaction for all the classes. Nursery से ही हम लोग interact करते हैं with the child and parent.
Okay. So, ma'am, we have one final question before we wrap up. That students would have, different kind of aspirations to, pursue different kind of sports and different kind of arts or theater or even different talents. Do you have specialized coachings for different kind of activities beyond
Yes.
academic?
Yes, mentioned earlier, we have coaches who are experts in their own field, training the children. I wouldn't say they are preparing them to maybe take up cricket as a career because these are early years, but at least they will be able to channelize their talent in that various field. So we have coaches for, like I said, sports. Along with that, we also have for music and for dance also. We have an in-house dance teacher as well as a music teacher. And we enable the child to be able to, to generate some interest in something. So when at an early age, बच्चे को पता भी नहीं चलता है कि मैं किस चीज में, मेरा क्या interest है और what am I good at. So exposure देना बहुत जरूरी है. So mainly for exposure हम classes भी ऐसे arrange किया है कि हर बच्चा को ये सब activities में जानना जरूरी है. Art and craft, music, dance and PT or PA and उसके अलावा then we have activities जिसमें होता है all the specialized coaches आते हैं, your cricket, football, basketball, because not everybody might want to play cricket. हर एक को शायद lawn tennis पसंद ना हो. तो ऐसे बच्चे भी हो जिसको वो स्किल है लेकिन कभी उसने बैट पकड़ा ही नहीं है क्योंकि फैसिलिटी नहीं थे. तो वी हैव द फैसिलिटी, वी एक्सपोज एंड वी इनकरेज द चिल्ड्रन कि अगर आपको क्रिकेट पसंद है तो आप सिर्फ क्रिकेट ही मत खेलिए, आप टेनिस भी ट्राई कीजिए, आप बैडमिंटन भी ट्राई कीजिए. और लाइक बॉयज डोंट एंजॉय some of the boys don't enjoy dance. And we kind of have to encourage them. You may be good at dancing, you will enjoy, you see your teachers dancing, why not do it, dance? So we try to encourage them to do it. So, and there are so many children who only want to play cricket. We know a group of our children, they only want to play cricket, or we have a group they'll only want to play football. So unko encourage karna, exposure dena school ka kaam hai, and encourage karna, and as much as possible opportunities dena, wo jo और ये हम सब करते हैं स्कूल में. फिर उसके ऊपर है उनका, एंड हम ऑब्जर्व भी करते हैं अगर उनका टैलेंट है, उनका इंक्लिनेशन है टुवर्ड्स पर्टिकुलर स्पोर्ट और म्यूजिक और डांस, देन वी विल इन्फॉर्म द पेरेंट्स ताकि उनको एक्स्ट्रा क्लासेस दे सके आउटसाइड द स्कूल एंड एक्सपोजर दे सके. दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड इफ टीचर्स ये सब नोटिस करेंगे तो ही जाके पेरेंट्स को बता पाएंगे. एंड पेरेंट्स, सम पेरेंट्स ऑलरेडी have been able to notice this in the children and they come and inform us also. So it's both ways.
Okay. So as we're just about to wrap up, any final thoughts, Molly ma'am, Neha ma'am?
Yeah. Neha, you go first.
Ma'am, you can.
Yeah. Thank you. Like it's a good school. We would ask more and more children to come and join our school because they will definitely get a lot of exposure here, not just in academics, but also different kinds of activities. We encourage children, and it's a very homely atmosphere that they find at Sri Sri Academy, because as I earlier also mentioned that there's a very strong bonding between each and every member of Sri Sri Academy. It's a very good team. So please, we would want more and more admissions in the school. Yeah, thank you.
I have ordered up everything, whatever we are providing in our school. So I hope now the parents will have the clear idea about this school. And yes, we are hoping for more admissions. And yes, the environment of the school is also very good. The teachers, our faculty, the relationship between the teacher and the students, everything is like best what we provide in Shri Shri Academy. Thank you.
Ma'am.
I'm very proud of my children, of my teachers and my non-teaching staff, our entire team, whether it is our security guard or to our Mali Bhaiya or to our Didis who help in the school, all are connected to the children. There's a, they all feel that the बच्चे हमारे हैं, हमें इनका ध्यान रखना चाहिए, हमें इनको safe रखना चाहिए. That is there in all of us. I mean, I think that that's why I'm very proud of the fact that we've been able to build that.
Absolutely.
That is very important क्योंकि जब तक बच्चे comfortable और safe ना feel करे स्कूल में, वो कुछ भी enjoy नहीं करेंगे, ना पढ़ाई, ना activities, ना sport. So safety and security and comfort बहुत important है, and बच्चे को happy और joyful रखना important है, because this is a very wonderful time of their life. ये जो आपका school days है वो कभी नहीं आएगा, and if we can make that time very joyful, it is going to help the child in the long run. So we want every child to be happy, and we'll ensure that every individual working in our school is also happy. जब हम खुश हो तो ही हम बाकी को खुशी दे पाएंगे. So that is very important for us. And thank you, Ms. Khushbu, for having us in this program and making us feel comfortable. It was more like having a chit chat in our own school, and I hope you get to visit our school also very soon.
No,
And
ma'am.
thank you for all the viewers who have given us the time and listened to us. I hope we've been able to address your queries. Anytime you have any questions, you can always contact us, which you have the details of our school, right? Anytime, then we welcome everyone to visit our school, irrespective of आप admission ले ना ले, at least हमारे school एक बार जरूर आइए, have a cup of tea with us, meet us. We'd love to have you in the school. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Chandrama ma'am.
you.
Sorry, ma'am. Thank you, Neha ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am Khushbu. Thank you.